Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we will be going over the most recent event ship, and that is the special ship Engels. Now this ship is honestly a waste of everyone's time. The event for it did close tonight with the update, so she is no longer available to be, well, earned. But if you don't have her, you're not really missing anything. But we'll get to that in a moment. First off, we're going to go over today's event, but I actually forgot to mention something from last week's event update, and that is the fact that we have a new sister ship now. This time it is for Maine or Rhode Island. This is what she looks like. It actually looks pretty decent, not gonna lie. Could be better. It's not terrible, but it's at least a realistic camo, and I do enjoy that fact. This camo is available for rank points only, not coupons or anything else like that. So if you have 6 rank points just hanging around and you already have the ship, well, you can now give her a new camo. I don't have a sister ship name for her yet, so until I actually have all the rank point ships, I won't be investing any rank points in camos at this time. Now, let's go back and review what came out in today's update. Alright, and here we have the statistics for this week's update. There's been some changes to the, well, British cruisers, mostly the heavy cruisers, but a couple, or at least Neptune at least had some changes as well. So this is the repair consumable. You can see the change here. The Surrey, Albemarle, Oxford, and Duke of Edinburgh all have a different setup for their fighter. Looks like they now have the Supermarine, was it Spitfire? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yep, Spitfire seaplane. And they actually look to have, like, there are quite a few aircraft. Squadron scale from 1 plane to 3 planes. If they are able to equip 3 planes at one time, that's going to be the most that any non-carrier plane or ship can have, minus ships like Oyoto, because that one can carry 4. But those are also torpedo bombers. But for 3 fighters, that's going to be pretty impressive. You can still see some other changes here. Then we go to some British cruisers. They get a little bit of nerf to their detectability. You can see some changes for Project 66, some anti-air range changes to the German 105mm dual purpose. Some modules change, and you can see these as well. So really the only impressive things are the new fighters on the British cruisers. So let's take a look at those. Alright, so this is the top tier British cruiser, and you can see that it is now modeled as a Spitfire or a Spitfire seaplane. And if we take a look at how the hangar capacity is, we now have 5 planes. So that is a pretty decent amount for cruisers, and, well, technically any ship that's not a carrier. So maybe they'll have a little bit better ability to intercept enemy squadrons with their fighters and actually have them do something other than just get shot down. Alright, so enough about those. Let's go over the ship today. I am not that big of a fan of it, honestly. So let's just go over our basic stats. Remember, she's an SP ship, so she goes against other SP ships and not other tech tree ships. So we have 11,900 health, 6 to 13 millimeters of armor, which is really nothing. The most armor you have is on your oversized 12-inch gun. Yes, that's a 12-inch gun. Let's get to that in a moment. You have one gun, or one main gun, I should say. Like I said, it's just sitting there right at the stern. It doesn't have that good of angles, at least forwards, because all your guns are in the back. 6 rounds a minute, 36-second degree turn time, 6,200 main HE damage, and you can see the stats here, but look at the velocity of the shell, 540 meters per second. I'm pretty sure that's the slowest shell in the game that is a main gun. There's obviously probably some slower secondaries. The British light cruisers in particular have some pretty slow shell velocity secondaries. You can just watch them crawl across the sky. But this one, it's actually pretty pathetic. The ship can't even really handle destroyers very well. The remaining guns that you see on her, like the two in the front there, and you have one more right here, those are classified as secondaries. Yeah, so you don't actually have any control over those. She had, yep, the three secondaries. They go out to 5 kilometers, and the main gun, the 12-inch gun, goes out to 13.5 kilometers. So it's pretty much trash in regards to there. But you see, she has 9 torpedoes. You think, okay, maybe she has good torpedoes. And you'd be wrong. They're 5 kilometers, 50 knots. They do have a good rate of fire. I will give them that. Detectability range is pretty okay as well. But your torpedo flood chance is absolute garbage. And your maximum damage, yes, you do have 9 torpedoes, so it does add up. But at this tier, you can torpedo Victories, which are another SP ship, and it'll do absolutely nothing. The only ships you can torpedo are, well, everything except Victories. So you have the Hein Shangs, you have the 037s, you have, what else do we have? The Habakkuk Mini, you have the H-45 Mini, ships like that. Nothing really something that you want to get close to. This ship does not take damage that good. One last thing, her speed, 34 knots is pretty fast, but you're very long, so your maneuverability suffers as a result of that. She does have some interesting equipment and consumables, so let's start with that. So she can equip the normal, the main battery advanced defense module, magazine advanced defense module, or the engine enhancement module, which decreases her acceleration time by 50%. You can also do more disaster. These are all basic. You can do a secondary armament enhancement, which I did originally run her with in hopes that her secondaries might be able to do some good. But I found that that wasn't really working. So I'm actually going to switch it out for another, or I say that I was going to use it as another engine enhancement module, but it doesn't look like I can actually equip that. So I guess we're just going to stick with secondaries. And then we have aiming system, which is only -7%, main battery enhancement reload. So that increases my gun rotation and reload for that one 12-inch gun. Or I can even decrease my fire and flooding chance even more. I could go for a full health or survivability build on this as well. You have destroyer repair, so 5 seconds, not anything spectacular. You can either choose between smokescreen or a quick torpedo reload booster. I really don't use the torpedoes all that often, so I mean probably not. And then she can either use a speed boost or a defensive AA. However, that defensive AA is an utter joke. If you take a look at her AA stats, here we go. 8 and 6 at 3 and 2 kilometers respectively. Yeah, you're not going to do anything with your AA gun. You have like what, one gun right there? That's it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure that's all that's modeled. So you're doing absolutely nothing to enemy aircraft, but you don't really run into them at the SP tier, so it doesn't quite matter. So let's toss her into a game and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what kind of game we have. 3 victories, quite a few Yutings, or the Hein Shangs, and 1 Engels, which is me. So you kind of see this is exactly what you're going to be going up against for the most part. Actually longer, that's funny. Also, this ship is based on the Novik hull, or the beginning Russian destroyer. But it has quite a few changes to it, so it's not exactly the same. But you can still kind of play it like that. So, as you can see, you have the one gun in the back, and you're probably going to want to use high explosive. Honestly, speed isn't going to do anything. I can't torpedo these ships since they're victories, so might as well just sit here and spam them with my one 12-inch gun and just watch that thing crawl across the sky. I'm missing sailing ships, it's so slow. But it is a 12-inch gun. There goes my secondaries for what little they'll be able to do. Missed again. I'm not a big fan about this ship. I really think they could have done at least something better. We are getting a decent amount of fires, at least. We have 2 so far. One of them was from the secondaries. I am able to take out quite a few of the secondary guns on the victories, but it's not anything that spectacular. There's another fire. But yeah, this is how you play the ship. You just have your one 12-inch gun that may or may not hit the target eventually. You have secondaries that do hit, but they don't really do that much damage, and you only have 3 of them, so you can't even rely on them that much. Honestly, though, I think that the secondaries are going to end up doing more damage than my main gun in this game. Because I'm still working over this one victory. And then we could probably rush the other ships with torpedoes, but we won't last very long. Can we get a kill on that victory with secondaries? Oh, close. There's another fire. Now our secondaries are starting to shoot this victory. And my smoke screen is just about done. Alright, let's see what we can do against everyone else. Torpedoes do reload quite quickly, so maybe we can use that. Let's see what we can do against the Engels here. Not that much, honestly. You would expect a 12-inch gun to do a little bit more than... But, well, we were still... We hit her with a... Interesting. Okay, maybe we had a fire on her. Also, victories are actually quite dangerous to this ship. As you can see, the amount of fire that's dished out. My health goes down pretty quickly, even under just, well, victory shells. Or cannonballs, since they're not even real shells. And then the secondaries from Yu Ting are the 2 tanks on her deck. Those are exceptionally accurate. And I don't have any way of healing. So we're just going to torpedo you. Maybe do some damage. Hopefully hit her. There we go. Smoke screen is back up. Let's just chill right here. Let's give you some torpedoes. We're not detected, which is nice. Might as well send some torpedoes this way. Now we're about to be detected, yep, by this one right here, since we're within 2 kilometers. Hopefully we can finish her up with a main gun here before we take too much damage. Okay, so she's on fire, that's good. But she's not going down quick enough. I don't think I did anything there. Okay. Okay, so she's down. I do have some more torpedoes. Let's launch them right there. And yeah, this is pretty much the gameplay. It's not that fun at all. Also, the victory went through the island and ended up over there. I'm glad to see that's still working. Alright, and we just have to finish up this Hein Shang's. Or the Yu Tings. This one is in a good spot to be torpedoed once we can torpedo it. Actually, you know what? Let's just rush. I have nothing to lose here. Alright, so that one should be down. Secondaries are still working them over. I have more secondary hits than main gun hits, but that's not really that surprising. You should be dead, hopefully. There we go. And I can't actually shoot any of these ships because of the way my torpedo angles are, or my gun angles are. That victory should be almost down soon. Though we are about to win on points. So let's see what kind of damage we can get before that happens. Yeah, we're going to win on points pretty much right now. And, well, we still got quite a few damaging torpedo hits, but we did end up winning. Let's see what we can do. Maybe I should focus on torpedoes more than the main gun, honestly. Well, we were able to do 126,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 22 shell hits only, 16 torpedoes, 6 fires, 4 flooding, 6 modules destroyed, 1 capped base, and 47 secondary hits. Torpedoes did 86,000 damage, secondary battery did 6,000, fires did 9,000, and the main gun only did about 24,000. So really not that high of damage numbers. Again, this is just a SP ranking, so it's not anything that spectacular. Also, every time you come back from a battle, you're always on fire for some reason. But I guess maybe a focus on torpedoes would be good, especially for those U-Tings. But if you get close to a victory, even a victory can tear you apart. So honestly, not the biggest fan of this ship. That being said, I will wrap up today's video. Now that we have gone over all the backup material, we are now able to start going over the additional British heavy cruisers, not just Warrior and not just Exeter that we've already done. We can start going over all of them, starting with Hawkins. So join me next time while we go over the first British heavy cruiser, Hawkins. Take care.